Okay. Hey guys, right, we are in Arcturus and we're going to acquire the Bavixi's caster. So it's on this moon above Planet 1, planted here by the Druge a long time ago. There's few minerals on this, lots of biological life actually. Hopefully it won't be too dangerous. I hope so anyway. Oh. Ah! Squidwards. Ah. I don't really need this stuff, and I don't really have much time to mess around with this kind of stuff. Oh my god, this is just annoying. Right, now, where did I leave that bloomin' thing? This is a really dangerous... There we go. Report from surface. We found an immensely powerful hyperwave transmitter here on the surface of this moon. It's sending a strong hyperwave signal outwards into the unexplored anti-spinward region of the galaxy. Since this equipment is extremely valuable and we have found no sign of any intelligent life on this moon, we've decided to disassemble the transmitter and bring it back to the ship. End of report. Now we're going to navigate. I'm going to set my new location. We are in 2159 and I believe this is the final year that I've got to deal with this, so I've got very little time. I have to go to the home of the Ilwrath, which I believe is Alpha Tauri, which should be here. It cuts right through danger space. So just before I actually leave the system, I'm going to save the game because I have a penchant for getting myself killed. And let's navigate. I'll talk a little bit about what I'm planning on doing at the moment. Basically, because I've left things so very late in the game, I'm forced into a scenario where I have to make the ultimate sacrifice and use a walkthrough guide. Basically, the fact of the matter is there will be people who potentially watch this in the future, and I want them to understand that it is possible to win this game even if you do it late. There's a lot of really good players out there actually. To be honest, most people are really good at games, and I'm not. That's what it seems. But I do enjoy them. Now, if you look up at the top, it was only just the first month. Can you see how fast time is passing? This is why I've had to use a walkthrough now to basically give me information. And I've only looked up bits and bobs, so I'm actually running all over the universe. So it's still a very desperate measure. It's a long journey. But this is, I'm going to what I believe to be the home of the Ilwrath, at least according to the walkthrough. Could be wrong, you know, and that's where I intend to use the caster. Basically, yeah, there's not really much more I can add to that. But look, February the 6th. I'm only halfway through this. This journey is going to take me a couple of months. Now, one thing I can say is that if you are playing on the side of the Aralu, or rather you play with the Aralu as part of your thing, it's a lot easier to play the game because you get access to quasi-space, and that's something we explored a little bit earlier, but I found it very late in the game, to the point where I don't think it would have been that useful unlocking that much stuff. Right, actually it's only going to take 2 months to get down, so maybe not so bad, but we're going to 022.9 by 366. That's still quite a lot of distance to cover, so I think it's going to take 2.5 months to get there. It's a long way to travel, and I may not be going to the correct place. But then again, sometimes you've got to take risks, you know what I mean? Anyway, why are you still watching this? Why don't you skip on to the next video? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to do something weird? Let's see, do I have anything cool that I can show you? Always make sure you're high on your calcium, magnesium and zinc. You know, just have fun with life. Life is really short and miserable most of the time. I mean, crikey, it's still not there. Yeah, it's going to take about 2.5 months, maybe even 3 months to get there. That's a lot. That's like, if it ends in the final quarter of this year, that means I've burned pretty much the majority of my time that's left. So, it's a very, very nerve-wracking scenario, I think. Because I've got this amount of time to unite the Chimera. I've got to get the Ilwrath to sod off. Can't remember why I've got to do that, but I think it's got something to do with it's got something important to do. Anyway, we're at Alpha Tauri, and we're going to use the device on the next episode. Thanks for joining me for the journey.
Bye bye.